can do, you can do anything. You can actually, I never dreamed I would be a partner in a consulting firm, at this point in my life, or, be a black millionaire. I dreamed I would have a job. I knew I would have what I thought was going to be a good job, but I didn't think I'd be balling. But hey, I didn't think I'd be balling. I didn't think I'd be balling, but I'm like, but the opportunities were there, and you have to be bold and take them. As I say, your first job could be in Minnesota. If they offer you a job in Minnesota, you better take that job in Minnesota, go for 2 or 3 years and say, I'm making an investment. I know I probably don't want to be in Minnesota the rest of my life, but I can do a 2 or 3 year investment in Minnesota to learn something, to beef up my resume so that I can interview for jobs in Atlanta or DC or whatever. Don't limit yourself at the start of your career with, I'm looking for a job in Atlanta because I want to be around my friends. Go, I can do it for 2 years and then get to where I want to be. So think of it as a stepping stone, not an end destination. Your first job is not your end destination. So, I, knew a lot of friends who passed up on interviewing for things because they weren't in the location that they wanted, or passed up on jobs because, they wanted to be in Maryland or they wanted to be in DC or Atlanta, and then didn't interview and then didn't have jobs, and then had to figure out what they were going to do because they passed up opportunities. So I would say, if the opportunity is out there, take it and think of it of, it's not what I really want, but you get lemons, make lemonade. So take it, use it for what it's worth, and then look for your next opportunity, somewhere closer to the location or in the job field that you want to get into. There's no substitute for experience, so you need to get some experience. So be bold, take the opportunities, even if they're scary. Take them anyway, because that's the best way to grow. That's the best way to, move forward in life and anything. Just be bold. And dream high. Okay?
Thank you. I think we have time for one more question.
Do we have any?
Yeah, do we have time for questions from the audience?
Yep. I saw one down there, and I know there's one up here.
Let me have your mic.
It's a little short. Let the people, this person can stand up.
Okay.
I saw you back there. I'm going to get you.
My name is Kevin Perry. I'm a sophomore. What is the most difficult part of your job? Like, what would you say is the hardest part of balancing everything?
The most difficult part of my job in balancing everything is probably just the decision making of what's most important right now or today, because it's a different answer every day. So for me, the juggling is what's most important today. How do I prioritize any particular day that I have? And that's just the work-life balance. But when the actual work part, I would say the most difficult part of consulting is when you have a difficult client, and you will have a difficult client. So the one thing about consulting is you have to remember that this is a temporary portion of my life. So if I'm in a difficult client for 6 months or a year, or like having a difficult professor for 6 months or a year, I'm going to be working for a long time. So for this 6 months or a year, I just need to suck it up and figure out how to make this work and know this person is not, part of my life forever. This is just, temporary. So one thing I learned with working can't really get me upset. You can't, really piss me off or take me there at work, because I got a husband who takes me there all the time. So I'm like, I've learned, I can't give that to work, because I got to save that for that man that drives me crazy that I've been dating since high school. I'm like, so I got to save all the emotion and everything for home and family that's permanent, that it's always there. At work, you don't get to have that part of me. You just get to have analytics, and yes, you're paying. So the problem is, how do I deal with your personality? And it's just another problem to solve. It's not emotional. It's work.
Thank you so much for the question.
And
we're done with questions.
No, I got it. I told him I had him. I can't just diss him. I gotta.
Holler it out, Zach.
Senior major in economics. And first off, I just want to say thank you for taking your time out to come and share with us some great knowledge. Thank you. The question is how many people at your firm have gone on to either start their own consulting firm or gone to just freelance and be a consultant on their own?
Ooh, so many. So I would say we probably have a turnover rate of about 13 to 14% of each year we turn over. And I would say that 13 to 14%, I would say about half of them actually leave consulting to go to industry because they want a 9 to 5, they don't want to travel. And the other half either go contracting or start their own business or some other thing in the field. So about half leave because they can't do the consulting thing, but the other half definitely start their own business. There was this guy who made gloves with lights on them. And so I think when you see all the America's Got Talent and whatever, and you see people who do the shows where it goes black and you see the lights and everything move around, he invented half those gloves and things they use for that. And he was in Deloitte Consulting, worked for me, and left to start his own business.
I have a follow-up question.
And then you get in some trouble, but go ahead.
Does your firm encourage others to go out on their own?
Say it again.
Does your firm encourage others to go out on their own?
We encourage you to do what's going to make you happy and make you successful. So we definitely have people that say, you know, I want to leave Deloitte. We have an alumnus program where we say, if you're going to leave, leave on good terms, which means finish out your assignment, you know, leave everything nice and tidy with a bow, and become an alumnus because you might need a consultant one day. And so you can either hire us as your consultant, or in a few years, we call them boomerangs, they come back to Deloitte because they tried something different and decide they want to come back. But I suggest anywhere you go, don't burn a bridge. So do not burn a bridge. Leave on good terms, even if you got to suck it up for like 3 or 4 more months and do a job you hate so that you can finish up an assignment. Leave on good terms because you never know when you may need to come back or they may need you or you may meet in a business setting. So never burn a bridge and go piece them out. Make sure you get it done and closed up nicely.
Okay. So at this time, on behalf of the College of Business of Delaware State University, we would just like to say thank you for coming all the way from Utah to share your executive.
No,
She
well,
came
there's
from Utah.
something was in Utah, but I came from California, but I'm in Utah too. So
We just
same
would like
thing.
to say thank you, and we would like to give you a token of our appreciation. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Give a round of applause.
You want me to open it up? Oh, I like the red and white. Which one is it? Okay.
Bam.
Bam.
There you go.
That is nice. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Best in the game.
So maybe I'll sign some offers with this at some point.